Saib Tabrizi, the word king. Welcome back to our English learning series. Can one couplet change the way you see life? In part 1, we met Saib Tabrizi and his wisdom. Some of his most powerful couplets are still ahead. Let us explore them together. He once thought about people who move from place to place. If a person leaves one prison and walks into another, the walls may look different, but the feeling is the same. Real freedom does not come from changing your city. It grows from changing something deep inside yourself. That idea of inner change led him to a harder thought. Make your soul familiar with death little by little, he said. Not in a frightening way, but in a calm way. A person at peace with their end can live without fear. That acceptance, he believed, begins a truly brave life. Can you imagine living without fear? From thoughts about death, he returned to daily life. He had already written about friendship in part 1. Now he added a new and deeper lesson, a true friend's face is like a clear mirror, he said. It shows you the truth without changing a single thing. A false friend only says what you want to hear. A true friend shows you what you need to see. This honest truth is the most precious gift of all. His next thought moved from people to long roads. Imagine a long, straight road in front of you. At the start, it looks very hard and very long, but every single step makes it a little easier. A person who never starts will never arrive. Begin, he said. Just begin. The road always gets easier with every step you take. This lesson came from his own long travels. He had crossed mountains and passed through many cities. He knew what it felt like to keep walking when tired. From the road, his thinking moved to the power of words. A wise man writes one true line and it lasts forever. A fool writes 100 pages that no one remembers. One honest word is worth more than empty books. This idea leads to one of his most famous lessons. Think of rain falling hard on a flat and solid rock. The rain comes again and again, and the rock never cracks. Cruel words hit a strong person in the same way. They hit, they fall away. The heart does not break. Silence is often the best answer to an insult. From strength, his next lesson moved to something simpler. Simple food after real hard work tastes truly sweet. The worker tastes a sweetness the lazy person never knows. Effort makes everything more beautiful and more real. That was not just a poem. It came from real life. He had lived simply during his travels, and he had found joy in simple things. His next couplet felt almost like a gentle joke. A hard worker sleeps much better than a lazy dreamer. Real rest is earned not by thinking, but by truly doing. This simple idea was part of the way he understood life. He believed that actions matter more than thoughts. A river never stops to ask if the path is easy. It finds its way through rocks and earth to the sea. A person with a true goal keeps moving the same way. Just keep going toward where you must go. If you do not stop, you will arrive. Saib learned many lessons by watching nature. He noticed that the greatest tree was once a tiny seed. It sat underground, unseen and unknown. No one could imagine the great tree it would become. Great things always start small and quiet. Here is the surprising part. He watched the wind change direction many times in a day. Only a fool expects the wind to always blow his way. Life and fortune are never fixed or certain for any person. This was deep wisdom from years of watching. He also wrote about shadows, which surprised many readers. Do not fear your shadow. Look at what it truly is. Your shadow only follows you when light is shining on you. It is not a sign of danger. It is a sign that the light is there. From shadows, his thinking turned to the gifts of old age. The old man knows the true value of youth very well. Only a person who loses something understands its true worth. The young cannot see their gift, they have never lost it. That is one of life's most beautiful and painful truths. Tears taught him another lesson about seeing the world clearly. An eye that has cried many tears sees people more truly. Sadness clears away pride and falls happiness. After real pain, you see the world much more clearly. Sorrow, he said, is not weakness. It is a school. Everything changed when he understood this. His next couplet about roots connected deeply to his own story. He had traveled far from Tabriz and lived in distant lands. The man who forgets his past has no ground to stand on. Our roots hold us up. They are not chains. After roots came love. His view of love was very clear. True love is not made of big and loud words. It is made of small and daily acts of kindness. The person who speaks of love but does nothing shows nothing. The one who quietly helps every single day shows you everything. A heart that has known pain can become stronger. Only a heart that felt darkness can truly feel the light. A person who has never known sadness cannot fully feel joy. He did not see pain as punishment. He saw it as a great teacher for the soul. Saib knew the feeling of being far from home. He traveled to Kabul, Kashmir, and India. A beautiful palace in another land could not replace his home. A simple house in your own country is worth much more. His heart always belonged to the gardens of Persia. From home, his thinking moved outward to rulers and justice. A fair ruler brings more real peace than 10 great armies. True power does not come from force or fear. It comes from trust and from fairness. A ruler loved by people is stronger than a ruler they fear. He was equally honest about lies and how they travel. A lie moves from mouth to mouth very fast at first, but the truth, though slower, always catches up in the end. The person who speaks the truth may have to wait, but they never truly lose. Time was also his witness against cruelty. Every act of cruelty will one day be answered by time. Time is the greatest judge because it favors no one. Cruelty by the powerful is not forgotten. It simply waits to be answered. His next lesson was for anyone seeking knowledge. The student who asks is always the wiser one. Staying quiet and pretending to understand helps no one. Pretending to know is the enemy of real learning. The one who asks may feel small but learns forever. Books also gave him a clear and simple lesson. One book that changes a life is worth everything. It is better than a great library that no one reads. The value of knowledge is never in how much you store. It lives in how it changes the reader inside. Even great teachers, He reminded us once knew nothing. The greatest master you can name was once a beginner. No one begins at the top. A master who remembers. This stays honest and true. Greatness always starts from the bottom. The stars, each shining in its own place, moved him. Each star shines brightly in its own space. It does not try to outshine the sun or the moon. Every star shines fully in the place it was given. Be exactly who you are, and do not copy others. Still water runs deeper than a noisy, rushing river. The loud river looks powerful, but the still lake holds more. The quiet person often carries more wisdom than the loudest one. Silence, he taught, is not emptiness. It is the deepest and fullest way to live. One of his strongest lessons came from fire. Fire completely destroys dry and weak wood. But when that same fire meets iron, something different happens. The fire does not destroy the iron. It makes it stronger. Hardship works the same way. It shows who you truly are. The true end of his story is still waiting to be told. Thank you for learning English with us today. Which couplet by Saib Tabrizi touched your heart the most? Write in the comments and subscribe for more stories of Persia. Join us in part 3 to discover more secrets.